All right, guys, welcome to Bridges of Belief. Really excited to be here in this new studio. Shout out to Nick Batar. And we are joined by...
Boya Hidara Shohi.
And?
Jessica Santosa Carlton.
Yeah, from Dateability.
From Dateability.
Now, normally on this podcast, we dive into specific topics that we've prepared, whether it's dating, whether it's personal development, whether it's Christianity. And we bring our experience, we bring our insights, and we break things down with intention. But today, it's different. We're putting all that aside and stepping into the unknown, unscripted, unrehearsed, and uncomfortable. We're throwing out real dilemmas, moral, personal, messy, and seeing what happens when we're forced to answer in the moment. So no branding, no filters, just raw truth or exposed fear.
Oh my gosh.
Just is going as red as as red as their clothes. All right, so the way we're going to do this, we're going to go through a few dilemmas. And we've got a specific number of dilemmas, and I'm just going to ask us some questions and we're going to discuss it. And I want you guys to be as honest as possible. And
Okay.
I'm going to say it's like a game. And if someone feels like here we are not being honest, let's call each other out on it. Yeah.
Oh, it's like shadow play.
Yeah. It is kind of like shadow play.
I want extra brownie points.
Okay. So speaking of the first topic I picked specifically,
Yep.
the voice or safety dilemma. You've got a platform, you say you value honest conversation, then a moment comes, not dangerous, not hateful, just real, in order to say what you want to say, whether it's a podcast or whether it's a event. Would you rather say it knowing it might feel risky, but that's the cost of showing up? Or hold back, not because it's wrong, but because being liked and staying safe has quietly become the priority?
Oh. I feel like that's really unfair. Being liked and staying safe is currently the priority. What a D-I-C-K. Like, that's not nice.
Well, here's my...
Yeah.
You go.
No, you go.
No, I
Yeah.
was just
sorry,
gonna
yeah, I was
say,
being
what
a
if,
You're
spicy.
venting your feels.
what if your livelihood is at stake?
That's my question.
Fair.
Is my money at risk?
True.
Is it financial risks? We need that clarification.
That's true. Well, I didn't really specify that in there. I just chucked this, and this is what we
Because if it's
got.
financial risk, I'm playing it safe.
Okay.
If it's just people won't like me, yeah, I'll say what I want.
Okay. So basically, if finances are sorted out, then you guys would say whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm going to give my opinion on that. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Like no one's going to like you.
Okay. Fair enough.
Most people don't like themselves.
I think it depends on what it is.
True.
Like,
We've
Yeah.
gotten some heat recently.
yeah, we have.
Have
Yeah.
we?
I have been listening to this book on the historical roots of feminism, and I'm like, I don't want to out myself right now, but I am currently working on with my team whether I believe I'm a feminist anymore. And I know it's going to be controversial, but I'm ready for it. Like, I've done
Yeah.
the research. I feel I feel well equipped to
Yeah.
defend myself from a research and evidence point of view. And yeah, I'm ready to go there, and I'm happy to not be liked for that reason because
Yeah.
it's the truth.
It's the
I
truth.
think you know me, I'm truth led.
Yes.
But if my child's safety is at stake or my husband's safety is at stake, then I probably wouldn't go there. So,
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. All right. Next one.
Well, what about you? You didn't answer that.
I would say mine is pretty obvious. I think mine is, I would say it. But recently, and I would have to say that I have been shaped and tamed on this podcast in a good way. In a good way. Me and you have had a lot of arguments on this, and you have helped me realize that there are certain things that you don't want to say. You want to be careful about what you say. So I
How
think
did you learn that lesson, Kevin? I feel like there's a particular
no,
line
but
to
that's
that.
not the reason why. That wasn't the reason why.
If you know, you know.
No. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But I'm about saying it because I believe that there's got to be in what you do. There's got to be a sense of courage, which means that you could lose the thing.
Of course.
Like because, for example, we look at the Bible. There are people who are going to lose their lives, but going to say the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just depends what the right thing is, right? Because I feel like a lot of people play that like, oh, I'm being brave, but you're just saying like in a political opinion that really doesn't has an effect, but doesn't as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess there's a lot of things. There's a lot of like variables.
Yeah, like speaking out against oppression is brave.
Yeah.
I think maybe we won't go there, but I think
Is it though? Because everyone would agree with that.
But
Everyone will be like, everyone will agree
I think
with
what
that.
actually happens, I mean, Look at Nazi Germany. Bonhoeffer was like the only pastor that apparently that was actually He was a pastor in Germany. When the Nazis were doing their thing, he was like the only pastor that actually spoke out against the Nazis,
Yeah.
and he got killed for it.
Yeah.
I think that's brave.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like people overuse that word to just share their opinion on things that are important, but not at like a level of like you're gonna die, maybe losing your job, and that's still
Yeah.
there's still merit to that. I think,
Yeah. I guess you guys are right.
but that's a whole other conversation, I guess.
There is, I would say that, yeah, there's a lot of variables because it depends on what you're saying. It depends because you're right. Some people can just use it as I'm just saying this, but they might be doing it for views, right? So I think it depends on that. It depends on what type of situation it is. Yeah, fair enough.
Can I just throw a spanner in the works?
Yeah.
I think I can tell when somebody's really ego invested in what they're saying, or they're saying it with the wrong motives. Like, or they're saying
How?
it. Well, it's really hard to pinpoint an example in my brain right now. But like, it's very popular to be a certain political leaning,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people are just riding that pony because
Right.
they want more clicks or more views or whatever.
True.
And in the same way, maybe for me, where the ego investment could rear its ugly head for me is being really against that, because it's in my nature to want to be contrarian and want to be a bit of a rebel.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not, I don't know, God is not impressed. God is not impressed if I'm just being ego invested. Like,
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. You
For
know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen in the past, you're pretty like authentic when you share something. Like you
Trying
believe
to
in
manage
it.
my ego as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's a shadow value, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how personal we want to get with this.
Oh, no, we could get personal.
Well, we're gonna get personal in some of these
Okay,
questions.
all right, all right.
No,
I'm gonna
not like a
I'm gonna
personal attack. It's
hold
just
the
you
brakes.
shared this on the podcast.
I am.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
can It's good that you're. I'm gonna stop.
I think I'm pretty aware. Anyway, you go.
You're
Yeah.
very aware. You're very aware.
So we'll
That
start
was
some-
meant to be a that was meant to be a compliment. Jess, I'm sorry.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right,
move
so
on.
something.
Keep going.
We'll start something simple. The imposter win. You get publicly praised for a win you know actually wasn't really yours. Would you rather accept it and stay silent, tell the truth, and lose your moment?
You have a good story about this.
I do have a good story
your
about
brother
this.
Ken-
Real
Kenneth.
example, so please share your story.
Oh well, one thing that I think that, we watch movies like Batman, and there's a really cool scene where the hero, he takes the blame and then he escapes, and then he makes the bad guy look like the good guy to save and to keep the name, to basically protect Gotham. And he takes the blame and then he runs off and he becomes the guy that gets persecuted by everybody. And we look at that and we're like, that is the coolest thing. That's so
It's
cool.
Dark Knight Rises.
You know?
Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That's right. And we look at it like, that is so cool. But the moment that we're at work and we don't get the credit for something, it's like, nah, she doesn't deserve that. This happened, whatever. Like we're so defensive about needing to be the one that is appreciated,
Gets
that
the accolade.
gets the accolade and stuff like that. So I remember my brother, he just said something beautiful to me one day that just put this in perspective, because he was at this point where at our church, he did this big play, this big drama, and he put so much effort into it. I remember when my brother does something, he puts in so much effort, and he spent like hours and hours and paid so much money, did this incredible drama at church, and he got none of the credit for it. And someone else got all the credit, and what happened was this thing that we wanted to be videoed, the person didn't even actually video it properly, right? And then he was just, oh, sorry, I lost it, But for his stuff, he videoed it properly and he got everything done. But the point was, I said, Kenneth, like, how could you not care about this? Why is this not like killing you? And he said something to me so powerful. He goes, when you're standing there and someone else is getting the credit and everyone is clapping for that person, and easily you can stand up and you can say something, but you don't, and you know that deep inside that the whole building wouldn't be standing if not for you, and you don't need to say it, but you just smile to yourself. That is the most boss thing ever.
Interesting.
And I was just like, yeah,
That takes a lot of humility.
that takes a lot of humility.
Because I would,
You know?
I would be pissed.
I would be too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I'd
here's
be
what I
very
think, though.
angry,
Here's what I
but-
think. I think I would have and I've done that. I think there's moments where I've done that. But I have parts of me going, no, I need to prove it. I need to be this. But you choose not to lead with that part. You choose to lead with the part that goes, you know what? I don't need that ego. I don't need the accolades. I don't need the significance. I just need to know that I did my best and that's all that matters. You know? So I think that's very beautiful.
And maybe the reward is the joy of the people in and of itself, or like the joy
Yeah.
of the system being created as a result of your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Very Jesus. To a certain degree, it could be very Jesus-like as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do
Yeah,
you
I
think, Blair?
so.
What's your thing? Accept it and stay silent, or tell the truth and lose your moment?
So I'm getting credit for something someone else did.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not getting credit. Is it? Is that
So
it?
publicly praise for a win that you know exactly wasn't really yours. Would you rather accept it and stay
No,
silent?
I couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
I would I'd have to prop up the person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Fair
can't.
enough.
I don't.
Because you'd be dying inside.
No, I just don't like people not getting credit for things they deserve.
You
and
have
I,
too much
Fair enough.
integrity, Poya.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Yeah, I think,
enough.
and I'm not trying to say that to like be like I'm this amazing person, because if someone took credit for something I did, I would be like
Yeah,
on a
yeah, yeah,
path of
100%.
vengeance. It would be like
100%.
John Wick on steroids.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe non-lethal John Wick.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm not really a dog person either. Don't cancel me for that. But yeah, I'd be furious because
Yeah.
I that's like one of my like shadow values. I
And
mean,
you,
you, shadow value.
yeah,
I need
you wouldn't even
people-
be able to look at that person.
I kind of have this thing where I need people to know that I perceive myself as a genius.
Yeah.
And I need people to know that.
Yeah.
Even whether or
that
not
you
that's true,
perceive
that's
yourself a
another thing.
genius or that you are a genius.
That I am, but I know that's just a perception. That's really not up to me to decide. But
Yeah.
I probably am. But yeah, actually that thing we're talking about shadow value. So that shadow value will get in the way, and I'd be like, no, people need to know it was me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'd be doing social media campaigns. I'd be like whispering in people's ears, like, oh, did you hear that guy? Oh, I heard he's got some problematic views on XYZ. Like I would destroy this person's life.
Fair enough.
So
fair
don't cross me.
Are you just saying that to be entertaining though, right now?
No, I actually.
You really would?
No, I think
I don't think you would.
I have like I can be a pretty. See, this is the thing, because I have a lot of guilt. So I'd probably start off doing it.
Yeah,
and be like, oh, I'm
that's
really sorry. I
interesting.
should have done it.
It's a nice balance for Poya. It keeps
I
Poya
have
out
like
of
a very
prison.
strong sense of justice. So if I'm wronged, I'm like,
Right.
this person needs to be like
reprimanded.
yeah, not just like like you should see me when I scold someone. I go hard, but then like afterwards, I always feel bad. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have been more gentle. But I'm learning. I'm learning to like sometimes it's okay to go a bit hard on someone and to
Yeah.
call someone out. But yeah, no, I can be pretty. Yeah, I'm just wary of how this can be used against me later.
Poya, it's all right, man.
It's like in a
Right.
courtroom, like, oh, I'm like, I
I
did
reserve the right to change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, minds can change.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have a very strong sense of justice. So if I feel I've been wronged, I think I would, within the confines of the law. Let's be very clear.
Yeah,
Confines of the law, I would take matters into my own hands.
fair enough.
But I hope I wouldn't. I hope I can grow as a man, that I can let go of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
right now that's something I struggle with. So
I
Well,
think I would just be afraid of looking petty, or like looking like the pathetic loser, like who
Yeah,
just
yeah.
who just wants the credit and woe is me, I did all the work. And
Yeah.
people aren't recognizing me,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think I'd be too afraid of looking so petty,
Or even
that I
risking
would-
that.
Yeah, that I
Yeah.
would just hold back.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I do see reward in something that I did, and then someone else getting credit, but then the joy of the thing being created and is
Yeah.
out there in the world, that's my reward. I
Yeah.
don't know, I just
Yeah.
do that to take pride in the work.
that's a more Christ-like posture, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
without trying to be, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, can we just pause for our audience and just share what shadow values mean? Is there
Yeah,
time for
let's
that?
do
'Cause I feel
it.
like you keep making mention of it. And
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to talk about it. So
We owe it.
shadow values are the quickest way to explain it. Shadow values are the dark side of a person. So like the things that we are. Things like belongingness or rebelliousness or validation and attention, they're things that are values for you, but you're embarrassed to admit that they're values for you. So for me, mine is superiority. Like I have a need to feel smart. I need to feel smarter than other people.
Right.
I need to be the most well-researched person in the room, the most prepared person in the room,
Right.
the most ready person in the room. And if I'm not, like this is why I hate being late to things.
Right.
Because I just feel like you know, when you're at uni and you run into a lecture and everyone's looking at you because you're late.
Right.
I hated that. That like is the stuff
Yeah.
of nightmares for me. So anyway,
Right.
so my shadow value is superiority, which manifests in me just being super prepared for like nearly everything in my life, and
Which probably
always
helps
trying
you.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
So it has a good side. Like there's a redeeming quality to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's in a nutshell what shadow values
Shadow
are.
value are. Yeah.
But what are your shadow values, Poya?
How do we know,
Well-
Jess, by the way? How can we tell?
So there's a way we can tell. Like I guess the quickest way is to ask yourself what are I need my notes honestly to do full justice to this. But like what is that naughty feeling that you want? Like when think of the last time you were wronged,
Yeah.
right? And what was the real thing, the real injustice in you that was made? So like, you know, I think when someone makes me feel stupid or when like someone belittles me or makes me feel less than, then obviously maybe I am legitimately a victim in that
Yep.
moment.
Yep.
But the ego part of me will come out and go, I didn't feel superior in that moment. And
Yep,
I
yep,
have a
yep.
need for feeling superior.
Can I try asking this and tell me if this is
I
if
think
this
you'd
is
be
it?
better at it. Yeah.
Is no. This
No,
just
you would
this
be.
is just a way is like, what is the secret needs that I want that I wouldn't want people to know that I want?
Ooh.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yes. So when I think
I think
like
it's good.
when I think of that, like I would say definitely significance. Like I definitely want to feel special. I want to feel important. I want to feel like I'm very
Yes.
smart.
Yes.
You know, smartest one in the room.
Yes.
And yeah,
like
and
to feel seen? Is it to feel seen and to have attention?
yes, it
Okay.
is. It is. And I would hate to. I would hate for it to be so obvious that I want the attention too.
Yeah.
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 Like you want it based on merit, not based on because people know that you want attention.
Yeah,
Like that. Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's kind of funny because I feel like in a relationship, your partner eventually knows.
Yeah.
And then but you're just like, it's my partner, it doesn't matter.
They will love me regardless.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Sorry, you're
the
being
like the moment where you can fart in front of them, right?
Yeah,
Like that's where all bets are off, and you're just like, here's all my filth, physical and emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My emotional farts, they're yours.
walls. But you know what's interesting in a relationship? There is so many walls that just keep coming down. Layers and layers of walls. Like they just keep coming down. And that's why I feel like completely different topic, but that's why I feel like when guys are like talking about the whole like, you know, I have like 20 girls and like that's the look of what they think is like what a man needs to be. I'm just like, they don't get it because it's like there's a really great quote in the book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F.
I love Mark Manson, by the way.
Yeah, great,
Keep going.
great
Yeah.
book. You know, he talks
Yeah.
about this idea of like people think freedom is having so many women, but freedom is actually closing off all the options so you can truly get to discover one woman. And you never, if you think about it, like you never get to have that experience of truly discovering one woman if you're always like, you know, playing the field type of thing. So it's a beautiful, beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah, you
But
don't get deep enough with any one person.
can't get deep enough. And there's so many layers, and the having the fights and finding a way to compromise is all a beautiful dance of what I think is true love. You know, so off topic, but anyway,
Yeah.
So I think significance is probably one of my shadow values, and I think, yeah,
I need to
Yeah.
like bring up the list and then Poya can choose. Or we can do something on Poya. Some Christian voodoo. Just kidding.
Some psychoanalysis.
That was a joke. Sorry, what did you say?
Some psychoanalysis. Please do it.
Poi, what are your shadow values? Poi doesn't have any.
Oh, so many. I probably
We
have
all
more,
do,
I
we
probably
all
have
do.
more shadow values than real values.
Such a
I
funny
think
joke.
everyone does though.
Everyone could, yeah.
Surely
No,
everyone does.
I think one of them is I need people to know that I'm worthy of love and respect, and that I'm not someone that you mess with.
respect. I think respect.
Which I
is
think
Okay,
respect,
okay, but Jess,
yeah.
when Poya says that, the thing that comes up in my mind is like, to a certain degree, everyone feels like that though.
No, but I really like
Right?
if someone. I mean, we've talked about this recently.
Yeah.
Like, if someone really disrespects me, I'm like, yeah, we're done.
Is that what it
Right.
means? It is shadow values where you have it, but you have it way more?
It's like really significant to you because
Yeah.
I shared those as well, but my most significant one's respect.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be
Yeah.
feel as significant. I don't need to feel significance as much as I need to feel respect. When I don't
Respected.
feel respect, I get really like.
What's one of those typical things that make you feel like you're not respected?
When people flake you with me multiple times.
Oh, you mean like with appointments and stuff like that?
Yeah, appointments, dates. I
Yeah.
think the dates one probably that really gets me.
Right.
And that's
yeah.
always tricky for me. Figure out how much grace do I show? At what point do I just like, nah, like you're obviously not interested.
Yeah.
I think friends when they mischaracterize me or they attack my character, and
Yep.
it's like a very severe. Like I had that recently.
Yep.
They might be listening to this.
Yep.
I don't
Shout out to you.
Shout
whoever
out to
you
you.
are.
Maybe we're still
Oh,
friends. Maybe we're not.
wow.
I don't know. Oh, that's
That's
dark.
so raw.
But like, it was actually related to something we said on a previous podcast. Not even anything I said. No offense, but it wasn't even anything I said. And I'm still kind of pissy about it, to be honest. Like, yeah, now it's coming out, but it's just like, don't like Yeah, when people just miscategorize me or they just attack me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm forgiving, but it gets to a point where it's done enough times where I'm like, you clearly don't actually know who I am, and I don't like feeling used. So I have
Yeah.
I know I'm a very good friend to a lot of people, and so I have certain friends where I'm like, if I'm always going out of my way for you, and you're not willing to even do a little bit for me, and you miscategorize me, you think you like the whole thing of like when they talk about me, what do they say?
Yeah.
Oh, is the first thing that they refer to as like, Poy's a really good friend, he's really kind, or is it like, oh, he's just really weird? Or you can maybe say the wrong thing sometimes, or he's a bit intense. If it's more of that, they're like, you've known me for 5 years, and that's still your go-to? Like, yeah, I am those things,
Yeah.
but the first thing you go to is that? Like, nah, man.
Fair enough.
And usually
Yeah.
they're friends who I like, like if they're going through something.
They don't
I'm the
really
first
get you.
person-
They don't really
No,
understand
but they
you.
also, I'm like the first person they call. They're like, oh, I wouldn't be able to get through this if it wasn't for you. If they had a breakup or if they're like struggling with some addictions and stuff. And then it's getting very specific.
It sounds like
It is, isn't
sounds
it?
like
It's-
there are red flags in friendship as well, and they're appearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These people in
as I
your
get
life.
older, I'm like
Yeah.
cutting off a lot.
That's actually true.
It sounds so bad. It's
Yeah.
like you kind of, as I get older, it's like I have less time and less emotional bandwidth. And I've realized recently I don't prioritize like the friends I should. I have a lot of people who are really for me that actually don't really put that much effort in. I'm trying to change that now.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends who don't really have my back that I'm like,
Why do I put you front and center? Sometimes.
Yeah.
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 I'm
yeah.
scared this person will listen to the podcast now and be mad.
Don't
Look,
worry,
we're good.
we-
They're cool.
Okay, edit that out, please.
We need to cut it out. We cut it out. Okay, let's.
But no, I think there was some. I'm glad I shared that because I think that's
Yeah.
important. I think people can take away from that. And I think it's important to be forgiving
Yeah.
and be humble. Maybe there is some stuff I can learn. Maybe I should be more forgiving. But yeah, I do really struggle with that. Like if someone disrespects me multiple times, I get to a point where I just cut them off, and I'm still questioning whether that's actually healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But I just want to put that as like,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough.
Making a conclusion on the data that you've
Yeah.
collected about this person.
yeah.
Now, if someone wants to
Grab
be
my
your
foot.
friends, they listen to the podcast, and the wrong ones will be filtered out. The right ones.
No,
will be-
I'm pretty.
Yeah.
It's like pretty hard to like get me to not want to talk to you. Just to be clear,
That's
like,
true,
It's
that's
really
true.
hard.
You're a pretty
You have
open,
to really
friendly
work
guy.
at it.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
takes
yeah.
years. It's like at least 5 years to make me be like, I don't really want to be a friend.
Yeah.
It's like I have to probably go through something, pretty bad, and you have to it's not easy to make me not want to be around you.
a willful douche. You have to be a willful douche.
It's not even willful douche. It's just lack of awareness, and just maybe some people you just don't get along with. Some people just don't get you. Like,
Yep.
there's a lot of people at church who just don't get me, and that's fine. I don't need them to be my best friend. Like, I don't need them to, accept me. I'm learning that,
Yep.
which is probably related to the shadow value. Like, so, yeah, some people, to quote Tinashe, some people are just not going to match your freak.
Yeah, that's true.
I freaking love that song, Nasty,
That's
by the way,
your
by
freak.
Tinashe. Shout out to Tinashe. Tinashe, where you at? We should,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you know the song?
we've
I'll sing it for you later.
we've got a few more moral dilemmas. Let's get into this.
I'll sing it for Kev.
So there's some interesting ones coming. So I'll chuck in the coffee shop one. coffee shop conscience. You're running out of a cafe. They accidentally give you a $10 too much change. You're halfway down the street before you even realize. Would you rather go back and awkwardly return the money, or keep it, tie the portion, and mentally file it under divine favor?
Ooh. Okay. This sort of happened to me when I've got a husband, I've got 2 small children under 4, and we were on a road trip on the way back from wherever to Sydney, and we were halfway there, and where my husband was like, I think the barista gave you too much change, and I was like, oh, so is it practicable to like turn around 30 minutes out of the way and give back the change? I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But if it was
I love the honesty, Jess. Love
But
it.
if it was a local coffee shop, then yes, of course, I would give back.
Yeah.
I would give back the money.
I mean, that's very
If it's
reasonable.
too inconvenient to go back, yeah, fair
It's
enough.
$10.
And it's on there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
$10 is nothing these days. You know what I mean?
Well, what would you do? I
Yeah.
don't know what you do.
Oh, I wouldn't. If it was too
wouldn't?
far, it's too inconvenient. I wouldn't.
I feel like
I'd probably
you-
call them,
Okay.
right? I'd probably
Okay.
call them.
Yes.
Like, even then, would I? Like, it depends on how big. If it's a local, probably. If it's a bigger one, like, I'm not gonna call.
If it's like a
Woolies.
Glory
If it's
Jeans or
Yeah,
Starbucks.
something.
like
Starbucks.
honestly, like sometimes, like look, like sometimes you do you shop at Woolies?
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
I do.
So Woolies, you know they have those paper bags.
Yeah.
And they just snap, bro. These paper bags at Woolies, they're so terrible. So I just steal the baskets.
You still
I've returned it. I have returned it.
Wait, you're just incriminating yourself.
Oh my god.
Dude, you're going to get in trouble.
Oh no, I'm gonna
He
get into
says that
trouble.
they're committed. You've been summoned to court, charged with theft. And
Yeah, so basically, if you go to my house, it's usually about 3 baskets because I'll go there and it's just too difficult to chuck it in. So I'll just take the basket and I resolve to
bro,
give
you
it
can
back
just
later.
get the canvas bags.
But what about the canvas bags of the
Are you that
plastic?
cheap?
Yeah, nah. If you can,
I run a successful coaching business, and they're too expensive for me. I could buy El Jada every second day. Eat
okay.
at the finest
Is
Indian
it
restaurant.
the environmental thing?
no, it's not
I'm
the
giving
it's
you an
not
out.
the-
I'm giving
it's
you
not
an
the-
out.
Do you think Kevin cares about the environment? Kevin's like, oh, it's plastic. Yeah. If it's bad for the environment,
Okay.
we're more likely to do it.
Okay.
That's his shadow valley.
Okay.
He's like, screw the environment.
Okay. If you could take it, and it's so much more effective because it's so sturdy, it's so strong, it's so nice. You can use it for so many things, and you're going to give it back. And Woolies doesn't care.
God knows.
But if you bring it back, Poya,
God knows. On our sermon at church yesterday, Leviticus, they said ignorance does not change the fact that you have sinned. Your intentions don't matter. What matters is you did the action that was against God. So you stole. So God's like, God knows, man.
imagine, man, you get to the gate. Hey, remember those? Remember those
Woolies
baskets?
Well, it's a good thing
down
you're
to the
saved
Woolies
by
basket.
grace.
Yes.
It's a good thing Jesus died for that sin.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do you ever think about that? Some of the sins that Jesus died for. Like, there's some dumb sins that we do.
Yeah.
There are some
Oh.
sins we've done where I'm like, I really didn't need to. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
died for jaywalking.
Yeah.
I guess he did. Yeah.
Jesus
no,
died because I
right.
told my mum that I'm not going to give her the TV remote. She's like, oh, can you pass the TV? No, Mum, I'm busy playing PS2. I'd never talked to my mum like that. She was ethnic.
Okay,
I
it's
would,
really
you know-
interesting because this next one is interesting.
Wait, I didn't get to answer.
Yeah, go. What's your answer?
Yeah, I mean, you know anyway, so that's all right.
Yeah.
I would have given it back.
Aw.
Yeah.
Unless it's too far, in which case I'm like, they need to learn.
That's a Poya thing. The Poya will give back. Poya will give back. Poya would feel bad and give back. Okay, this one's interesting. Porn and the pulpit dilemma. You're preaching on Sunday, but slipped up on Saturday night with porn. Would you rather push through and preach anyway, or pull out last minute knowing no one will know the real reason?
Can I just say that if my preacher on Sunday had had a slip up, I would totally be fine with him preaching on Sunday if he'd had a slip up the night before.
Yeah. Okay.
If it was-
As in not preaching.
No. I'd be fine if he preached, if he still preached.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
yeah, fair
we're all
enough.
sinners.
Yeah.
Like, who
Yeah.
hasn't slipped up? I
Yeah.
think that's
Agreed.
it's too harsh.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's like saying if I'm a preacher and I'm at Woolies. And it's all linked today. It's all linked today.
I think Kevin just wants to be validated.
Validated.
Kevin just wants to know he can be a preacher one day. So he's like, if I did this,
Who knows? And then you see this super attractive girl, and you check her out for 3 seconds. Oh well, like I can't preach. I can't preach
but
now.
there's a difference.
Oh, I can't preach
though.
now.
There's a difference. I'm with you on this. I think porn's like as
Boy,
much.
give me
as,
your textbook. Tell me.
I think like for me personally, I don't know. I don't know what like church's policies on this are. I'd be okay if it's a one-off and there's like measures for it. But I do think there's a difference between watching porn and checking someone out. It's a heart of lust, but there's escalations. Like it takes a lot to get
Fair.
to a place
point.
to watch porn and then to like eventually cheat on your spouse or sleep with someone you're not married to, right?
Fair.
And you're a pastor. So I think it's like, you know, shout out homeboy Carl Lentz. It's like it was a long-seated thing that took him there. And he's repented. It's all good. And he's accepted that he's forfeited his role as a pastor. And he's doing awesome stuff in his podcast. So shout out to you, Carl Lentz. I think you're doing great work right now.
Legend.
But, yeah, actually, I want to give my props. Like, that's true accountability, accepting consequences, but also turning what you've done for good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there is a difference between checking someone out and, you know,
Seeking it out on the internet.
yeah, like it's a festering. The wound is more is worse when it festers, right?
So where's the line?
Okay.
I mean,
because- no, sorry. I keep you.
well, I think
I see your point, but
I
where's
think
the line?
I don't know. I don't know where I think the line. I definitely know the line is when it involves another person
Oh, for sure.
because that's super like, you know, you're bringing someone else in and you're creating. I don't know if there's any theology for soul ties. I don't know if that's like actually if that's in the Bible. So I'm not gonna. I won't comment on that actually. But you bring another person in, that creates a lot of ugliness and mess.
Yeah.
So, like with porn, I'm personally a bit more lenient if it's a one-off,
Yeah.
or if it's a very rare thing, because it's not like you're involved with another person.
Yeah.
In a sense, you are, but you're really not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just dependent. I don't know. I think, and if the line was like porn, like if you watch porn, you can't be a pastor. I'd understand.
Yeah.
I personally don't have an issue if it's a one-off, but I'd understand. But I don't know where the line is. I just know I know where the line is, but I don't know where it starts.
I know it definitely must be happening a lot more than we think, for sure.
Yeah, people are complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What were you going to say, Jess?
I just think, I do want to put on the record that I think the pornography industry is evil. I think it is really evil.
Yeah.
You know, having worked in child protection as a social worker, the most normal people are actually pedophiles. This is why I don't have any photos of my children on the internet.
Yeah.
Or really veiled ones of them.
Yeah.
But people are disgusting. And Jesus knew what was in a man. I think porn is terrible. I
Yeah.
think women and men struggle with porn.
Yeah,
It's not just men.
for sure. Yeah.
And I know this will sound really snarky or what's that word? Just annoying. I'm just going to use the word annoying. I think it's the best word that I can come up with.
Yeah.
But I think there are degrees of porn usage. Like, for example, child pornography. Obviously, that's like a no-go. That's disgusting. That's the most extreme
That's you go to
end.
jail.
But then also like anything that involves violence, anything like, I don't know if there's a genre of porn that's like better than other genres of porn. Yes, I do probably think there would be, but I don't know, to the degree of the slip up, I would be willing to explore that, but this is not the scope of the podcast. So
I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys heard of? I got a funny story. I went to a party once with a few friends.
the celebrity heads one, that story.
Oh no! Maybe one day. I haven't told you the story of the celebrity head. It involves a friend of ours.
No.
I won't say it on the podcast.
None of the podcast. Yeah, yeah. But go on. Yeah.
He's probably not listening though. But I was at like a party with my more progressive friends, and then the reason they're progressive would make sense. We were talking, and they said, "Yeah, I like." Somehow porn came up, and I was like, "Yeah, I think it's pretty bad and stuff." And like, "Oh, but like I watch ethical porn." He's like, "Porn's bad." He's like, "Porn's bad." He's like, "But when I watch it, I watch ethical porn." Like, wait, what's ethical porn? And he described it. And it's like, you know, there's like, it's like you pay for it, and it's all safe, and it's true. There's actual models for that.
Yeah.
Because like most of the porn
Yeah.
that apparently you can get, it's like you don't know what you're getting. You don't know if it's like a sex
yeah.
slavery situation, right? But at least with this, you know, it's all like done in, like the person has complete control. Kind of what OF I guess is done. Oh.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, there is no way
That's
that
not a
people
thing.
are gonna pay for porn who are that desperate, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's changed now, but
Who
this
knows?
This was like, I was
All
like,
types of
bruh,
kings.
I was
Yeah.
like, There's no way someone's like, oh, I don't like porn, I don't like watching it, but I feel like I slip up and I'm gonna watch ethical porn. Like, there's no one who's doing that except for this guy, which probably says a lot about. He's a more virtuous man than
I guess it's
than a lot of us. But
yeah. I was just gonna say it's like gluten-free water, you know.
it's still water.
Gluten-free vegan water, ethical water or something. Anyway, it's like that.
Yeah.
My pastor from my old church, he actually recently passed away. He's such a good mentor of mine, Pastor
he was a
Graham.
legend. Yeah, he
He's
sounded
such
like
a
a
legend.
good man.
And he, back in the day, in his past life, used to deal drugs. And he always used to have this story where he used to say, like, before he got saved, he will deal drugs, but he will always deal drugs ethically. So he was like convinced,
Man
like,
of virtue.
I'm a good
Man of
man,
virtue.
you know, like. It was just such a funny
Man of
thing to
virtue.
think about.
Can I just say, I just
Yeah.
want to say on the record that I think pornography is evil and insidious because ignorance of what else is out there is good for your marriage. So if you don't actually know what's out there, all your pent up sexual energy is just saved for your spouse, and I
Yeah.
think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that
for
is
sure.
what marriage should be, and what it was before pornography came into the scene. But I don't. This is someone who's read lightly about, researched about the history of porn, but not I haven't done extensive research on it. But
Yeah.
that's all I could.
Yeah, I just want to back Jess and say porn's pretty messed up, and if you disagree with me, yeah, cool, man. You have some problems.
I was very brave for you.
That's where I'll go hard. I won't get a lot of.
Sure, a lot of people disagree with you.
No, some people don't, man. Some people like I don't think it has a negative effect. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
they're
It
far
absolutely
gone.
does. It's
They're
a
far
slippery
gone.
slope.
It's so
Conceptually,
damages the way you view
cognitive, it's
women.
disgusting. Yeah.
But it's
Especially when you're
interesting.
it's as bad as cocaine for your brain.
Yeah.
apparently.
But because, for example, Coke, like if you need more, you spend $300 for another bag. But with porn, you
Yeah.
can just keep upping the dopamine dose, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting because
Yeah.
first you watch porn and you watch something normal, and then eventually it turns into some really screwed up stuff because your brain needs something to hype you up, so it just keeps screwing up your dopamine
Yeah.
circuits.
Yeah.
It's really insidious. It's really disgusting, and it just it gets like everything, right?
Like
It's-
building
it
a
starts,
muscle or
it
like
just gets
getting-
worse
yeah.
and worse and worse through time. Really screws you up. So I get it.
Yeah. It's so gross.
Okay, next one. The friend zone fantasy. You've been close friends for years. You finally confess your feelings and they say, I love you like a brother or a sister. Would you rather stay friends and pretend you're totally fine or create distance to heal and risk losing them forever?
Oh, I have such a dating coach answer for this, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you guys answer first.
Okay. Dating
would,
coach Hannah. I'm waiting for the dating coach Hannah. I'm keen for that.
I
What
would
do you think,
go
Poya?
I would go to Turkey's Nest. I'll take a locket that they gave them. I'm kidding. That's your story. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just cut them off.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You'd what?
Just end the friendship. No.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no point. It's like you're not going to
Yeah.
get over them if you stay.
Fair enough.
It just depends on how close you are and stuff. Like, there's so many factors, right? Like, did they drop signs? Did they not? If it, like, I'm assuming it's just like they had no idea. It was just purely your own thing. I think, like, respectfully, I would probably distance myself and indefinitely end the friendship for both of our sake.
Yeah.
Not out of bitterness, but just like it's not going to be healthy for either of us.
Yeah.
To make sure I can move on and that I'm not being false with her. Because if you're being friends with her and you still have feelings, there's a bit of deception, you know. And it's just not healthy.
But what if, for example, he or she genuinely enjoyed the friendship
Doesn't
and
matter.
thought, oh yeah. From your perspective, I guess what I'm saying is like, is it morally bad on? Yeah, because we can. Let's just say if I was in the position, and they told me that I'm a brother or sister, and I'm just like, oh, they screwed me over, they led me on, whatever. Is it justified for me to say something like that? Or is it that even in their position, maybe they weren't actually looking for a friendship? I don't know.
Wait,
because
what do you mean?
because sometimes I feel like girl or guy can lead the other person on.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
good
think
to
that can happen,
I
but I think that can also not happen too.
Oh, 100%. And I've been in situations of both.
Yeah. And I also think that they can. It's possible to be innocent, but it's also usually naive as well.
What do you mean?
Because usually, if someone's like, "Oh no, I genuinely wanted a friendship with you," usually they're, I would say, pretty naive. Because it's like, there's sides
no,
there.
I'm
you know what I
going to
mean?
be honest. I've blindsided some female friends. like a really blindsided
As
them.
in they were
Right.
into you, but you weren't.
No, I
you
was
weren't
into them. They had no idea,
Oh.
and I think it's fair on them to like I really blindsided them.
Yep.
I think if they have led you on, I think you should call them out,
Yeah, yeah.
but like lovingly, not aggressively, not in, like incel way, like but be like, yeah, that's not cool. Like you can't treat people like that, and that's something you probably should work on. But also, I respect your decision. And then I don't think it's morally wrong to end the friendship because you're not going to be friends with them from a place of integrity because you're going to want something more. And I think, like for myself, if one of my friends was into me and I wasn't into her, would I want her to continue hanging out with me and being in pain? No. I wanted to move on. It would suck to lose a friendship, but I would care about her so much. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, we should have some space for your sake.
Yeah.
And I think that's an act of love. And then, you know, when they're in a better headspace, maybe we can reconnect. And I've done that. There was one girl that broke my heart. I think kind of led me
That
on
you've
a
been
bit.
friend zoned with?
Yeah, years ago, like almost 10 years ago. And I think she kind of led me on a bit. I think she was just naive, though. Like, we were very young, early 20s. And I didn't talk to her for a few years. And now we're mates. And I have no, like... I'm like, why did I like her? It's like you grow as a person. You're like, yeah, we're very different, and you know, and it's like I see her as like genuinely like a sister.
Yeah.
And she's like in a relationship now. There's no like I forget that I was like ever. I'm just like, oh hey bro,
You were into her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually you look back
Yeah.
and you're just like, this was the best that happened.
this was
way.
the best thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. Sometimes it's meant to be.
And sometimes you know you level up and you can. No, I'm kidding.
You do. But Jess,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts?
Well, dating is personal development, and I think Poya's story really highlighted that and just exemplified everything that Poya said actually was what I was about to say. Because if you're close friends with somebody and you're in love with them and they don't reciprocate that, they don't love you back, that's like the snapping of a green branch to the man or the woman inside, to quote Nazim Hikmet, the Turkish war poet. Anyway, so
Hey, shout out to the Turks.
but it's cognitive dissonance to like continue a friendship when you're in love with the person, and it's painful. It's painful for you.
Yep.
Although I have had a female friend of mine from years ago, she was in love with her male friend and he dated her because he thought, well, maybe we will work together because we're such good friends. And then it just turns out that she just loved him more than he loved her. And then at the end of the day, she said, well, do I want a life without him, or do I want a life with him? But just not in the role that I want him to be, like as my lover and best friend and husband, future husband. And so she decided to keep him in her life despite him not feeling the same way. And she just allowed herself to sort of let the pain dissipate. And I thought that was really big of her. That was a real high road thing, but I don't think I could do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think like because my head is in the history of feminism right now and the free love movement and romantic anarchy and how much I don't agree with it, because it leaves children, like little innocent babies, aborted or like neglected or in poverty. Like it's just awful.
Yeah.
I just think everything geared towards a stable family unit where like two people fall in love, get married, and then create life together. So like, yeah, this whole like having male friends who are in love with me, or I was in love with them, hanging around while I'm supposed to be devoted to my husband. I don't think that's there's a word that I want to land, but like I don't think it's helpful for my marriage in the long run. I don't think it's healthy.
So these are specifically male friends that you had feelings for.
Yeah, I had actually I had said to a really close male friend of mine when I first met my now husband Tom, I said to him, we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry, because we had a thing and it's too much for Tom, and you know, for you to be in the picture, it's just too complicated, and I don't think it's helpful for either of us. And it was devastating because he was like one of my best friends. But it's just the way it was.
I think that's fair.
It was awful, but I think he's happier now as well, and I'm happier. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, next one.
You didn't share.
So, I would say it depends on the stage of life that you're in. I think once again, if I'm in a marriage and it's getting like, well, actually that wouldn't make sense. What am I talking about?
I was like, where's he going with this?
No. My brain was going somewhere else. I would say it depends. There was a period where I was actually really, really into a girl, and I got friend zoned.
Ouch.
Yeah. Like I was into this girl for like four years.
Oh my,
Yeah.
you
She
farmed
bullied.
it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just to be clear, she also bullied me in high school. So.
Yeah, put it as her.
Yeah, you did well, bro.
Yeah. She's cool, really.
Nah, I'm sure she's a lovely person,
She's
yeah.
cool. She's
I
cool.
hope
She's cool.
grown and
No,
learned as a person.
no, she didn't do it. But that's the thing, though. I look at it and I go, she didn't do anything wrong. She just wasn't
Right.
into me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
She wasn't into me, and like they're happy because they enjoying the friendship. Like no one's really doing anything wrong. Everyone's just trying to do the best, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've been put in the opposite position, and I get how I feel in that way too. So I would say if you're really really into that person that's hurting you, then create distance to heal,
Yeah, absolutely.
and just reset. I do think with the same person, I think that they teach this in the game. You can do something called a 3-month reset, where you can come back after 3 months and try again.
Yeah.
But usually it's just best to move on and find someone else,
Yeah.
because genuinely there are so many fish in the sea.
And work on
There are.
yourself, because sometimes you can probably attract someone better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and you would have learnt so many things. You would have
Yeah.
picked up something, and you always end up like leaning from that exercise, learning from that, and
Yeah,
becoming
of
better
course.
and stronger and whatever. Yeah.
Can I just say on the end of that,
Yep.
the whole plenty of fish in the sea thing, it works if you are a single person looking for marriage, but I don't like it when people are like married, they're in a covenant, and then they're like, well, there are plenty of fish in the sea, I'm going to divorce my husband and find another husband. Like, that's not okay.
Do you know
Because-
people like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
oh,
of
Jess,
course
we
I do.
got to talk after this pod.
But like,
That's
the,
cool.
the reason the one is the one is because you've created a covenant together. You've created a life together. So you're looking for in a multitude of fishes. I know that's not a word, but in a multitude of fish in the sea,
Yeah.
looking for the one fish that wants to build with you, and that's special, and that should be sacred.
Yeah.
What type of fish?
Yeah,
would
agreed.
they be?
Agreed.
Something like clownfish.
Mainly mackerel.
Mackerel, yeah. Mackerel's a good fish. Shout out to mackerel.
All right. So here we go. I feel like Poya, you're gonna love this one, because I feel like you've probably had this experience before. Christian mentor, your church friend keeps subtly trying to mentor you. Right? Okay, so would you rather play along to keep the peace, or confront them and say, I didn't really ask for that?
Oh, dude, I confront straight up. I did that yesterday. Like,
I would do the
Right.
same.
whenever someone gives me advice now, I'm like, stop. I don't want your advice.
Wow.
I just don't have. I'm very.
What got you to that
I'm
point?
so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice.
Um,
What got you to that point?
to quote the American poet, "Yay, I don't take advice from people less successful than me."
This guy, bro.
Oh my gosh!
That's all that has to be said. No, partially
Yeah.
because I've learned recently. Like,
Hey,
why
there's
is this
actually some,
Muppet?
there's some logic to that. There's some logic
Yeah,
to
there's
that,
so many
for sure.
Muppets that have been giving me like when people give you dating advice, and I'm like, you've never even like held hands with a person. I was like, you have a social disorder. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't talk to me about how to relate to people.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, just people just. I'm like, I didn't ask. I just stop it. I don't have time.
Yeah.
As I've gotten more busy, as I'm older, I just have less patience for things that are for bullcrap.
I think it's a very normal development.
Yeah, I like it. I like
And a great
it.
one.
But my fingers have to learn to be less aggressive because I'll just be like, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm like when people, I remember I was like to someone, and they're like, oh, I was like, I'm feeling low, my self-esteem's low, but you know, God loves you. I'm like, bro, that literally means nothing to me. Like, what are you trying to, like, I just said
Like,
that. I'm like, I know that. I'm not asking you to quote the Bible to, like,
And you know what's really
yeah.
interesting?
I've probably done that to you, I think.
I think we've done that to each other.
Yeah.
Look, I think when I think about it, I think when we do that, when we have that reaction, we can subtly sense that they're not coming from a true place of love. We can sense that
I
they're
disagree.
trying. We can sense
it
that they're trying to
ego?
project onto us.
Yeah.
You can sense
I
it.
don't know, man. I think
Because
sometimes they
it-
are, but they
No,
just don't know how
no.
to, they just don't know what to do.
No. Because if you were truly authentic and truly present with the person, you would validate what they're
But
feeling.
I don't know, man. I don't think some people have that level of EQ.
No. Oh, okay. This is a bigger topic. I believe
I really
if you're
don't,
truly
yeah.
present, all of that becomes available.
Dude, I have friends who are like, and I'm gonna be like, who are like on the spectrum, like autistic, Asperger's, who are very authentic people, but just not emotionally intelligent.
No.
And
You can
I
still
don't know.
be really present.
Fair enough.
Well,
I don't
you
think
know
we're
what?
gonna.
We'll never get a we're never
Why don't
gonna
we
be
bring
able
in someone who's actually
Okay,
like?
okay.
Sorry, I need clarity on what your position is.
So my position is that every time that we get triggered when someone is trying to mentor us and we have this sense to be like stop, it's because we can actually subconsciously sense that they're not coming from a truly selfless desire.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
we don't think they're actually coming from a loving place. They're coming from a place of projecting onto us.
Right.
I half agree. I just
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
that applies to everyone because I think if you have like some kind of like just like is it a disorder? I don't know. I want to be sensitive, but
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends. I have some very close friends who have Asperger's, who are wonderful people.
Yeah.
Probably some of the most thoughtful people I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just don't know what to say. Oh, but then
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? Actually, there's one friend I'm thinking of. He knows who he is. I love him. I'll tell you later.
Right. Yeah.
He actually doesn't do that. He doesn't give me advice. No, he actually into it. Yeah, you might be right. Actually,
I mean, it depends.
you might be
man.
right.
Depends,
You might be right because
depends.
I think even if you have like
Yeah. No,
if you're
no,
on the spectrum, you might be able to.
Look, bro, I think if you're spectrum, maybe that's a different.
I
it's a
think
different
I've noticed
conversation.
my
It's
friends
hard.
on the
It's hard.
spectrum, they just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Which I think is like. Yeah, so maybe even then, if they're coming from a place of love, so they just know I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna be present.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. Maybe I think you're actually right. I think I
Every
can see.
time that because
Yeah.
I feel like every time there's this sense of like they're projecting, and they feel this like I just know how it feels when I project onto someone. And I'm telling myself in the moment, oh, I'm really helping this person, but I'm like,
you know
if I
what it is?
really dig down deep, like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not. Like, I'm trying to project my way onto theirs. I want them to accept me because it satisfies my ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I was going to draw out the word ego as the key word here.
Yeah.
Because every time I feel someone's ego on me, I'm like, oh, get that off me. Goodbye. I don't
Yeah.
want that. Ugh.
Yeah.
And that's in the same way, my own ego on other people's.
Yep.
But like as you guys were talking, I was slightly triggered thinking of this person in my life who would really benefit from my help and yet keeps pushing me away. And that's really painful for me because they're in such suffering and I'm like, let me help you, but they just refuse to let me help them.
Yeah.
And it's an age thing. It's because I'm younger than them that they don't want my help. So what can I do? Just walk away and be like, okay, I respect your decision to not accept what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no permission for me to say anything to you. So
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
walk
yeah,
away.
Which is you being loving to their boundaries they say, I guess.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
And they have a right to reject what I say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also another element of like the ego is one element, and I felt that too.
Yep.
I used to be that guy that would always give advice, and now I've learned don't do that, especially when you're in a relationship.
Yep. And there's people who really
But-
receive
Read
it,
the room,
and there's people who
read the
don't.
room.
Yeah, there's been so I just want to apologize to all my exes for all the times I gave you advice when you were venting. I'm so sorry. I've read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and
It's
it's
the
helped a
problem
lot.
solving thing.
Yeah, it's just like
fixing thing.
yeah, it's like someone said something really sexist about women at church. Yeah, why don't you just tell them to shut up? I just want you to hear me. Like, and that's fair. That's fair. I was in the wrong, but I think there's another element. I think some people are uncomfortable with negative emotion.
That's what I was going to say.
I think it's from a place of it's
Yeah.
not that it's not
It's
from a place of
reacting,
love.
yeah.
It's from a place of like I feel kind of like uncomfortable with this, so I need to
so
love
I need
myself.
to problem solve. Yeah.
I need to love myself, so I don't feel this uncomfortable feeling. And I felt that. Like I have a friend who's going through a rough time, and there are times where I'm just like I don't even want to hear this because it's just like it hurts me that he's going through it, but it's also like no, this isn't about me. It's about him.
Yeah.
And I think with myself, I think a lot of friends had that. I mean, look, can I bring it up?
Bring it up.
Like
I don't know what it is, but bring it
when
up.
I like lost my friend and I don't mean to bring this up.
Oh,
to,
no,
like,
no,
shame
go
you.
for it, bro.
You've been
Go for it.
amazing, Kevin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin.
No,
for,
no,
like,
you don't need to.
Yeah,
Just go
okay,
for it.
good.
Go
Because
for it.
I don't want you to feel like
No,
that I'm holding
100%.
onto it. But I think it's a really helpful example.
Yeah.
I think you admitted you felt uncomfortable with
100%. I
my
did.
friend passing with death, and so you would just give me advice, which now you don't do because you've learned, which is awesome. But it wasn't that you didn't love me. I think it's more that, and I don't think it was your ego.
No,
I think it was just you were.
You said it's my uncomfortability,
Yeah, your
which then
uncomfortability.
goes into my ego of projecting what I know onto you instead of giving you what you need and being on the
I
same
don't
level
know-
as you.
But it wasn't your ego. It wasn't like I need to like appease
no.
my
Ego. You see, ego doesn't
Right.
always look like obvious ego.
Oh, okay, sure.
Ego could
Okay.
also be me projecting something slightly onto
Thinly
you.
veiled ego.
Yeah, comes in
interesting.
degrees.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Yep.
I thought ego was always like, I gotta show him the guy.
Yeah, and
Well,
and
it's that,
is.
but it's on a scale. So imagine
Oh, okay, that makes
if
sense.
you're picking up what topic like typical ego is from 7 to 8, this is like you're picking up ego from like 1.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's good to make that clarification because I think a lot of listeners like myself probably didn't know that. That's really interesting.
We
I
should
didn't know
play
that.
clips, a series of clips, and then pick the ego, like pick the
Such
degree
a
of
good
ego.
idea.
Next
You know what? I
episode.
had a really good idea, Poya,
Yeah?
of actually imagine if there's one guy who just has an Instagram page and all he does was psychoanalyze like hate comments. How good would that
I'm
be?
starting that. I'm starting that.
All
Yeah.
he does was psychoanalyze hate comments. Like that would be
Dude,
brilliant.
Done. Done.
Do it, do it. I'm keen for it.
Hours.
You'd be good at it. You'd be good at that. Yeah.
Oh, no, I won't share this episode. We'll talk about it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, so we've got 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can do.
so fast.
Yeah.
Let's do one. Let's do one more. Okay. Okay. It's a spicy one. Your best mate's getting married. You know for a fact their partner cheated once. Would you rather drop the truth bomb before the wedding or stay silent and let it play out?
Can I answer this one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
go
go.
So
for
they
it.
say, do you object? I'm going to run up, grab the mic, and be like, I'm happy for you guys, and I'm going to let you finish. But she cheated your ass. No, I'd 100%.
Hectic.
I'd 100%.
Oh,
I'd
man.
Why don't
shame
you
the
live for those moments?
Bro, I live for. I would shame her so hard. I'd record it. I'd put it on YouTube.
being serious
I'd turn
right
it
now?
into a script. I would love it. Please don't please cheat on my best friend. But I would go. This is the vengeance thing. I would destroy their entire, just metaphorically destroy their existence. Like those videos. I would give them like a. Oh no, I won't say this on camera.
He gets so creative. I love
Like
it.
I would like maybe leave a prawn in their car.
A raw prawn or a cooked prawn?
Raw prawn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just slowly unravel and watch them go crazy, and then my piece de resistance. I'll do a display, like a little like presentation at the engagement party. Actually, maybe not because I'll spend a lot of money. I'll do something extravagant and be like, "Here's a YouTube video. It's sick," and then it's an expose.
You know what I
People are
have-
probably thinking, have you been cheated in the past?
Do not mess with my friends, do not mess with my friends. Oh, yeah, I love
Yeah.
this. I love that I can share this.
I want to believe you.
No,
but
I
feel
would.
like-
You haven't seen
okay,
my angry
I
side.
want to believe you, Poya.
Kevin, do you think I'm telling the truth?
I think
that I
he
think you're
definitely
lying.
wants to do those things, but I don't think he will because you're guilt. Your
No.
guilt
I
will.
think the intention
I have a
is
no.
strong.
Nah, you guilt won't let you. Your guilt and the repercussions won't let you, but you do.
No, if I could do it without
You do
like
want it.
breaking the law,
yeah, but
I don't have any qualms.
Okay, so here
But I would
is
100%.
where
I would 100%. I've done it before. I've actually exposed someone for cheating before.
you have.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Screw it. I'll say it on the podcast.
Whoa.
It was actually I was actually more friends with them than their partner.
Wow.
Right.
It's
Okay.
complicated, but yeah.
Can I just say, what irks me the most about that whole situation is that she hasn't come clean herself to her future husband.
Right.
That's something she should really come clean about, which is already a shade on her character.
yeah.
Like, that means, not sure about this woman's character if she's not coming clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For clarification, we're friends. So our friend was the person who was cheated on.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting when it's the other way around. Because of course you'd expose someone to cheat on your
Oh.
friend. Would you expose your friend?
Oh, is that what you mean? Is that what you do the display?
Oh, that's really
I'm
interesting.
confused.
That's actually.
I
That's
wouldn't
actually
do a
really
display on
interesting.
my friend, but I'd tell my friend first, and then I'd give them like a set amount of time. And if they don't do it,
okay.
I'd do it.
Okay.
If it's before the wedding.
What if you hate the girl?
No, if I hate the girl, I'll tell him don't marry her.
Okay,
Or her
okay.
don't marry him. And
Yeah,
that gives
yeah.
me more fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd be like, good on you for cheating. But no, I have lost a friendship to that.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, I did it. Like, I didn't intend to, but I don't. No, I don't.
As in, you accidentally slipped up. Oh, by the
They
way.
kind of knew something was up and they confronted me.
Oh.
But I don't know if I regret it. No, I don't regret it. I didn't do anything wrong. I actually think I should have told them immediately because I was friends with the other person too. And I lost 2 friends.
Wow.
And I could have probably kept one of them. But, you know, they were like, oh, I'll tell them when they were already, no, I don't want to get into it because it might come out who it is. But like,
Oh my god.
I've done it. I think I do it.
This is such a big deal.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I am very loyal, except when it comes to like, if you've killed someone or you've done that,
Yeah.
like, nah. Nah, I'm not the friend that you tell. Yeah,
He's got a strong sense of justice.
I'm
Strong
not the
sense of
friend you'll help
justice.
that will help you bury a dead body. I'll help you. I'll visit you in prison every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do it. I'll even do a character reference. I'll say you're guilty, but I'll be like, you know, maybe you can be more lenient with the charges, with the sentence. But justice,
imagine you
I
doing
have a
that.
strong sense of justice. So,
You do.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
which is why I also.
What were you
going
going
to
to say, Jess?
No, I don't have anything to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we have 1 minute ready. 1 minute left. I'm probably not going to go into another one. I'm probably just going to end it here. But just want to say thank you so much, guys. Anything you guys want to leave
Thank
with
you,
this?
Kevin.
Thank you.
That was really juicy and difficult, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it would.
No,
be.
no, no, for
Yeah,
sure.
that was good.
Can we do this
For
again?
sure. Yeah, for sure.
record,
I want to
I
do
was
some.
nervous.
Bro, I
Coming
think
into this
I
conversation.
think we should play Shadow Play again with Jess.
This was shadow play. This
Yeah,
was
basically-
but I think this was better than shadow play.
Oh,
But
yeah?
no, we have to play Shadow Play because Shadow Play
Okay.
asks you about like the people in the room and stuff.
Oh,
It's really interesting.
interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll have that one next time.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found it valuable. See you later.